My name's Larry Elash. I'm a co-owner of InYer Ear Records and Collectables on 1125 5th Street in Estevan, and I co-own it with my brother Dan. InYer Ear Records and Collectables is we mainly focus on music. We have a lot of vinyl, and that's probably our mainstay as far as what we have for inventory is our vinyl. And we also have CDs, we have some cassettes, we also have some 8-tracks if anyone's really interested in that. Of course, we have toys, Hot Wheels die-cast toys, we have Coca-Cola memorabilia, we have some different collectibles, like we do have some Barbie dolls, we have some Star Wars merch. We also have Harley-Davidson toys and some merch. We have rock t-shirts. There's some rock and roll comics, so from different bands, and I think we have some Kiss comics and comics from the 90s, from the early 90s, I would say. Both my brother and I have had a passion for music. Dan used to have a store back in the 90s, and he always talked about opening another store. And with the resurgence of vinyl, we decided, oh, what the heck, Estevan really doesn't have a music store, so to speak, and it's been our passion since we were kids.
Oh God, yeah, well, ever since we were kids, teenagers, before pre-teenagers, I guess. When we were younger, we had paper routes that, you know, when we used to do our collecting, generally one of the first places that we'd go to would be one or two or three of the little music shops in Yorkton. And at the time, 45s were kind of a big thing too. So yeah, we were both collecting 45s and LPs as well.
I remember back when we were really young, and I'm going to date myself, we had a wind-up record player, and Mom had a lot of 78, so that's what really got us started. And so with our paper route money, there was a place in Yorkton called Baker's Drugs. Initially, we started buying 45s because I think they were only 10 cents each, but they had this little sound booth, and because you'd listen to the radio, and so they'd be playing all these hits on 45. So we'd go into the sound booth anyway, put on the big headphones, and like we thought, yeah, this is cool. Like we could be like a DJ, and we'd listen to the 45s, and we'd buy them anyway. So yeah, music has always been in our family. We sang in the church choir when we were growing up, so we had some gospel influence, and our mom was a really big country fan, so I think she really was probably the one that really got us into the music scene, and seeing that she had records, that kind of got us going. And once we started, we couldn't stop.
Okay, I think one of the first ones would have been a Johnny Cash one, if I remember right. Yeah, because we kind of grew up on the old country stuff. My mom was a huge country fan, so I know myself anyway. I know Larry is a country fan as well too, but I really like the old traditional stuff. It just kind of seems like they had something to say, a little bit of a storyline kind of thing to a lot of their stuff, and it just kind of seemed to be just kind of genuine, I guess maybe is one way to say it. It just kind of seems like I say, they're just kind of more down, the old country guys kind of seem to be really down to earth for the most part, and you know, had no idea, visions of being, you know, multimillionaires or whatever kind of thing. So.
That was pretty interesting. I was in Jamaica because I was there for the winter, and so we're talking back and forth on the phone, and we kind of hatched this idea that we were gonna open up a shop, and so I had a few names, and so I threw them back to him. Didn't like those, and then so he threw a couple back at me, and I didn't like those, and so he just kind of like basically threw up his hand and said, okay, you think of something. So as I was sitting in my favorite watering hole in Jamaica with a couple buddies, and it's kind of popped into me like, we're gonna mainly, our focus is on music. Music, in your ear. Okay, that's pretty cool. Why don't we? So then I thought of the logo, having an LP, and the label on it was an ear. The spindle, where the spindle goes in, was your ear hole. So it just worked out really perfect, and it was not in yours, because it was kind of my son too. He's a joker too. He's got a great sense of humor, and he always kind of slurs a few things. So I thought, yeah, okay, why not? We'll make in your one word and just say in your. So it's kind of fast, like, yeah, it's InYer Ear Records and Collectables, and it kind of stuck. And finally, we both agreed that was a cool name that nobody wouldn't probably think of.
Well, just the sound is, you can't do it. There's no comparison between the two. And yeah, and then as far as buying the LP records or whatever, I mean, you know, there's things that you don't get in a CD or whatever. I mean, there's no comparison.
It's so much warmer, so much fuller. You get to look at the artwork. You know, you got a nice big jacket in front of you, so you can look at the track listing. You could see who's the producer, who's in the band, what instruments they're playing, who wrote the tunes. When we were younger, we would just study those things while we, not only, you know, listening to the music and enjoying that, but kind of really trying to learn the background of it too. And we'd always play a game when we were younger. Hey, do you know who produced that album? And we'd have to think for a second. And so, yeah, we were really into it. And for me, the sound quality is just, there's really no comparison as far as I'm concerned. You know, and don't get me wrong, I have probably 300-400 CDs, but if you listen to a CD and you get an analog album and you listen to it, you'll see the difference in the quality of the sound. And you really don't get that medium in a CD because it's so much smaller. We wanted to spread music in the community. We like, you know, chatting with people, and it makes us feel good if somebody's looking for a specific album, and so we have a wish book, or that's what we call it. We call it our wish book. So if they tell us what they're looking for, we'll write it down in our book, and we'll put their name and their contact information in there. And once we get that in, or if we're at a show, we'll specifically look for some of that stuff. And they get the call or text or whatever once we get whatever they were looking for to add to their collection. And it makes us feel really good too, because we're helping people with their music.
Well, we go to shows in Winnipeg, Edmonton, Regina, and then we kind of, you know, just hope for some people that'll come in with their little bit of collection that they've got, or that their folks have kind of handed down to them, sort of idea. And then like I say, sometimes we like to kind of pilfer a little bit of our own collection to bring in here too. So
I refer to it as kind of like fishing, especially when we go to trade shows, different record shows, and we've got our list, and it's like, oh boy, I hope we can get some for some of our friends or some of our customers. So it's a really a fun experience if you find one and go, yeah, okay, we got this album for so and so, and boy, I bet you they're going to be stoked when we come back to the store. So that's kind of cool. So we always refer to it as, yeah, I guess we're going to go fishing and see what we get today, and hopefully we can fulfill some of our customers' needs. Whenever we go to record shows, that's one thing about my brother. I'm ready to leave, and it's like, wait, we haven't looked at it. He wants to look at every single one, because there might be that, like I said, we're fishing, and he's thinking there's a, and yeah, but that gives us a lot of joy. And down, because it's like, no, I'm done. He's got to turn over everything. There might be something under that one stone we didn't look at. We both enjoy music, and we both like talking about music, and we just like to spread music to people. It really gives us joy in making sure that music stays alive, especially in vinyl. Important aspect of having a store is seeing the look on people's faces and knowing that, you know, if they've been looking for something that's hard to find, and we can get that to them. And just a smile on their face, knowing that they're going to enjoy the music as much as we do, is a really rewarding, I think, very rewarding feeling.
Well, it's fun. It keeps me occupied through the afternoons. Yeah, it's just something I enjoy doing. You know, I spend enough time at home too, just listening to music. So this way I get to get out and kibitz a little bit, and, you know, meet new people, and hopefully get people bringing in little collections and add to my own, as well as bringing stuff into the shop here.
Dan and I are always down for a chat. We enjoy people coming in, like I said, whether they just want to come in, hang out for a bit, listen to some music, look at what we have, and just, you know, swap stories, talk about concerts we've been to over the years, and just talk about music in general, what their likes are and what their dislikes are. And we don't care if they buy something or they don't. It doesn't matter. If they have a passion for music like we do, we kind of connect with that, and it makes us happy.